if you see or hear voices that are dissenting from the official storyline, they're going to have to be silenced or eliminated. I mean,
well, look at what happened. Look at the ambushes that occurred when Thomas Massie, who I think is great, Rand Paul, who I think has matured immensely, and who is the third Republican who stepped away from the narrative, and all of a sudden the attacks were relentless. Now, that could just be Trump being Trump.
It wasn't just Trump attacking them, though.
I know.
Marjorie
Taylor Greene, who, by the way, is nowhere near as stupid. I mean, she's not even stupid.
Oh, I know.
She ran a construction company.
Oh, I know. And her, she just doesn't have whatever that normal, the fear that controls people in D.C. where like, I can't.
But how do you turn on Thomas Massie? Marjorie Taylor Greene at least played a role in kayfabe that you could imagine drawing fire. Massie's this guy, who built his own house and fixes his own car, and he's an engineer. He's an archetype of who we ought to be
as a country. I so vehemently agree with that.
And they turned on him.
Yeah, well, I haven't.
We know why they turned on him.
Texted with him this morning. No, I mean, you could say I disagree with Thomas Massie, but if you think Thomas Massie is the problem,
you are the problem.
I couldn't agree more. Just because, first of all, he's a decent man, which always matters to me, and I think it should matter to all of us. You could, give Thomas Massie a routing number, and he's not going to take $1. He's just not. He's not going to.
He's the only one without a handler.
That's true. And I think we should admire that, even if you think that all members of Congress should be required to have handlers. It's okay to live in a world where one doesn't. That's what I find so...
Well, it's not okay to live in a world where everyone else does.
No, I agree with you, but I just find what's so interesting, and there's a religious quality to all of these conversations that I find so striking. It's like, it's okay if you have, all this power, all this money, if you're running the U.S. government, or whoever you are with a lot of power, you can afford to have some percentage of the population not play along. Like, it doesn't need to be an Albanian election in 1982. Like, you can have some dissent.
Unless you're an authoritarian state.
I guess that's right. I mean, but even in an effective authoritarian state, in Saudi Arabia, in the Emirates, these are, basically theocracies. They don't agree with that, but these are Islamic states under Sharia law. You can kind of dissent. It's okay. You just can't do anything really threatening, of course.
Right.
But more dissent is allowed in Abu Dhabi than in DC. I just find that just absolutely incredible. Yeah. Like, what is this? Why can't they allow Thomas Massie to just have his own Massie views? And
he's a vote.
He's a vote, okay, but you got hundreds of others. Like, I just think it's weird. There's this desire to make sure that nobody sings off the song sheet. Like, and that person must be killed. And I don't enforce that among my own children.
So,
do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I absolutely know.
It's bizarro.
What you're talking about. We used to allow opposing views.
Yeah, I mean, look, if someone is really a threat to the system, well, I think that should be allowed personally, because the people in the government.
Depends on in what way, but yes.
In what way? I have a very wide strike zone for that. But I get it if the system is like, I'm sorry, you're an actual threat, we have to kill you. Okay, systems exist to preserve themselves. I understand that. What I really can't even comprehend is someone out there in a place I've never been and never will go among 350 million people is making a noise that I disagree with. I must crush him. What is that? That's just weird to me. Why are you going to the effort to shut down all dissent? Hate to brag, but we're pretty confident this show is the most vehemently pro-dog podcast you're ever going to see. We can take or leave some people, but dogs are non-negotiable. They are the best. They really are our best friends. And so for that reason, we're thrilled to have a new partner called Dutch Pet. It's the fastest growing pet telehealth service. Dutch.com is on a mission to create what you need, what you actually need, affordable quality veterinary care anytime, no matter where you are. They will get your dog or cat what you need immediately. It's offering an exclusive discount, Dutch is, for our listeners. You get $50 off your vet care per year. Visit Dutch.com/Tucker to learn more. Use the code Tucker for $50 off. That is an unlimited vet visit $82 a year, $82 a year. We actually use this. Dutch has vets who can handle any pet under any circumstance in a 10-minute call. It's pretty amazing, actually. You never have to leave your house. You don't have to throw the dog in the truck. No wasted time waiting for appointments, no wasted money on clinics or visit fees, unlimited visits and follow-ups for no extra cost, plus free shipping on all products for up to 5 pets. It sounds amazing, like it couldn't be real, but it actually is real. Visit Dutch.com/Tucker to learn more. Use the code Tucker for $50 off your veterinary care per year. Your dogs, your cats, and your wallet will thank you.
I don't know, but
it's that's
what's happening.
Oh, I know.
Not to swing the topic yet again. Let me get back to the universities. People don't understand universities. There are people who do, obviously, but the average person doesn't. So people are going to say I'm talking my book. Let me take this opportunity with your gargantuan following to explain how universities work. Well, let me just say before you begin that I'm amazed by the broadness of your thinking, right or wrong. You're certainly thinking thoughts that most people don't allow themselves to think. And you are a tenured professor at an Ivy League college and you still have your job, apparently. So that does say something. It would be hard to fire me.
Apparently.
I mean, part of the problem is one of the reasons I got canceled is because I twice fought unionizations.
Yeah.
And the first time was at the request of the dean of faculty. The second time was at the request of the provost, of late night phone call. You got to fight this. You got to put together a team. And that's the now president. And so if they fired me, that group was sort of behind my cancellation. So firing me would have been hard because, witness number one would be, did you ask Column to fight the unions? And did that lead to, them canceling him and stuff like that? I really think Cornell's great. I think most universities are fine. We needed a fastball past our chin. Great example, Claudine Gay. Shouldn't be president of Harvard, shouldn't be on the faculty, shouldn't have a PhD, in my opinion. That is the sign of the rot that has gotten into the universities, but it's still an exceptional rot. So I don't see people at Cornell that look like Claudine Gay to me. And if you actually look in the whole DEI thing, you say, well, universities are super duper DEI. And I go, you guys are forgetting that a year ago or 2 years ago, if you weren't DEI, you got destroyed. The whole system was geared up to make sure you paid dearly if you weren't DEI. So you had to have your deans of diversity, and the world was demanding it. And don't forget, this is a world where biological men were competing in women's sports. They still kind of are, but at least it's now starting to dissipate. And that was considered totally normal and was considered rational. And if you fought it, you get fired and things like that. So the universities were simply responding. Now, they'd gotten way left wing. My colleagues were all hired based on their skills, guaranteed. I'd remember a case if it was a DEI hire. I remember a case because I would have fought it. I would have screamed. I don't shut up on things like that. We try to find the best person in the world to hire, and we go for that person if we can. And we do pretty well. And so if you were on a campus, you wouldn't see what we're hearing about. I don't think. You'd walk around the campus, everything just looks pretty normal.
So you're in the hardest of the hard sciences, though. Do you think
that's the problem? If I walked over the art squad, I'd see some Looney Tunes, right? And we're now destroyed. The cost of an education is too high to waste it. And so if you're going to spend $300,000, you can't go into a career that you make $40,000 or that you make $25,000 because you're a barista.
Yeah.
Right? It's just no longer even viable. So you have to. So colleges, if I were president of Cornell, I'd put together an elite committee of people I absolutely trusted and say, you guys are in charge of trying to figure out where we should be in 20 years and how to get there. Because we can't be here in 20 years.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. We hope you'll subscribe to it. And by the way, you can hit the little bell on there and get notifications every time we produce a video. We hope you'll do that also.